Talking. All right, thank you for coming to the meeting. May 6th in Council Chamber. Mayor Fontaine is away, so I will be chairing the meeting tonight. Calling council to order. I will get Councillor Slip to read the reconciliation, please.
You bet. In the spirit of reconciliation, we acknowledge our meeting place. The city of Flin, Flon Council Chambers is situated on the ancestral lands of the Treaty 5 territory. We'd like to acknowledge that we also work in partnership with First Nations in Treaty 6 and 10 territories and the Red River Métis Nation.
Thank you. Now reading and confirming of the minutes.
Absolutely. 25-68, be it resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting of council held April 22nd, 2025 be adopted as received.
Seconder. Councillor Richardson. All in favor? Thanks. Councillor Eagle, check schedule. Oh, Councillor Richardson, check schedule, please. That threw me off.
25-69, be it resolved that the checks in the amount of $819,056.32 be approved for payment.
Can I get a second? Councillor Eagle, all in favor? Thank you, and moved. On to resolutions. Councillor Litwin.
I have one resolution, Your Worship. It is the Moosehide Campaign Day, 2570. Whereas the Moosehide Campaign is an Indigenous-led grassroots movement of men, boys, and all Canadians standing up to end violence against women, children, and all those along the gender continuum. And whereas the Moosehide Campaign was founded along the Highway of Tears in British Columbia in response to the injustices and violence faced by many women and children in Canada, particularly those who are Indigenous. Whereas intimate partner violence, IPV, is at epidemic proportions across Canada, with more than 4 in 10 women having experienced it in their lifetime. And this reality is worse for Indigenous women, who are twice as likely to experience violence from their current or former partners. Whereas the Moosehide Campaign has distributed over 6 million Moosehide pins that each spark 5 conversations about issues of violence against women, children, and all those along the gender continuum. Whereas wearing the Moosehide pin demonstrates a commitment to honor, respect, and protect the women and children in your life, end gender-based violence, and take meaningful action towards reconciliation with Indigenous peoples. Whereas participation in the Moosehide Campaign is a concrete action for all citizens to address the legacies of colonization, residential schools, and the reality of more than 1,200 missing or murdered women in Canada. Whereas engagement with the Moosehide Campaign aligns with the United Nations Declaration of Rights of Indigenous Peoples, or the UN DRIP for the abbreviation, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's calls to action, and the calls for justice of the National Inquiry into Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls, which is the MMIWG2S+. Be it resolved that the City of Flin Flon proclaims May 15th, 2025 as Moosehide Campaign Day. Secondly, that the City's Communication Department promote the passage of this resolution on the appropriate corporate communications channels. And finally, that the City of Flin Flon order Moosehide pins and donate $100 to the Moosehide Campaign.
Can I get a second? Councillor Slip, all in favor? Approved. All right. Last resolution, Councillor Eagle, please.
Okay, resolution 25-71 regarding Hapnock Collegiate. Be it resolved that the City of Flin Flon donate the installation of the banners for the Hapnock Collegiate graduating class of 2025 in kind.
Can I get a second? Councillor Richardson, all in favor? And passed for Hapnot. Before we adjourn, I just wanted to mention a couple things. We have 2 public hearings coming up. So on May 22nd, we have our public hearing for the financial budget that is up and coming. I believe copies will be available tomorrow or right now?
They are right now.
Well, we're close. So tomorrow at City Hall, you can come and pick up an actual copy of the budget if you would like to look at it before the public hearing to get some questions together. We invite you to come, ask lots of questions. We like engaging with the community. We will be recording and posting as usual. The second public hearing is going to be on June 3rd, and that one is about the rezoning for Kingsway Park. Once again, that's a public hearing, and we really want to hear from the community and what their thoughts are so we can make the best informed decision that we can. lastly, May 12th, we're doing the kickoff for community cleaning, so there'll be a public barbecue at Pioneer Square from 5 to 7, and I believe Councillor Richardson and I will be barbecuing, and I believe and Councillor Eagle, I'm sure all of us will be there, cleaning and with community pride. We're excited to have Still Standing. We did the same thing last year for community cleanup. We're just trying to get the community revved up about Still Standing, as well as community cleanup, so we're gonna do it 2 days. The second day will be May 26th. I invite anybody here if they want anything to say about
I
the
have
community, please.
It's not about our community, it's
Yeah.
about the PA, actually. I just
Absolutely.
want to congratulate the Northern Manitoba Blizzard on winning the Manitoba Junior Hockey League.
Nice.
Our friend and Mayor Andre Murphy is very excited. I told him he should declare a civic holiday, which he
Yeah.
actually did, but he was fooling. So it's great that Northern Manitoba is going to be represented at the Centennial Cup in Calgary. Rob and I were hoping we could go, but we can't. So, but congratulations to
Absolutely.
the Northern
It's
Manitoba
fantastic.
Blizzard.
Did we donate did we give our Zamboni went?
Yeah, their Zamboni broke down for the 6th game of that final series, and they were in a hard place. So Flin came through again and donated their Zamboni for them to use for that game, which they were very appreciative of.
Yeah.
There was a lot of comments, positive comments
Nice.
about it. So it's friends helping friends, and it's the way it should be.
Absolutely. Anybody else? I guess we should also mention the fire ban. We can see already that we're so dry and the fires are already starting. It's nice to see that they've got the one under control by the PAW. So please be aware, everybody. Adjournment.
So moved.
So moved. Thanks.
So first thing, the fire ban, that's on till further notice?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chamber meeting today, I know you guys, were you there at the chamber meeting today?
Yes. So was Councillor Richardson.
Okay, I know you guys were there for that Still Standing. Basically, what type of information did you convey at that?
Well, we just talked about that twice before they had been contacted to actually come to Flin and participate, and we were turned down. And so this third time they sought our community out and contacted Mayor Fontaine, and that's how the process came about of them starting to come here. They've already met with a ton of people. They had a list of all different people that they wanted to communicate with. So minors, Indigenous people, longstanding community members, people involved with the bomber organization, arts, every kind of person in Flin you can think of, and just to hear their stories. So they've done a lot of prelim like that. I know that they're working really closely with Caitlin Bailey, our recreation director. They will be doing 2 visits, I believe, prelim visits to kind of scope everything out. They're coming on June 13th to the 17th. And at that point, they'll participate, the host will participate in different things. I know that he is going to participate in the SPCA fundraiser with the blow-up costumes. So that will be exciting for our community. That's such a great fundraiser. And they're just kind of setting a schedule. So whether it's going to be canoe races on Ross Lake or just going fishing, hiking, just kind of showcasing, and then it will end with a comedy show. That location will be determined by his team, so it will either be at the Whitney Forum or the Community Hall, and they haven't decided yet.
Any idea when this will actually be on TV?
I couldn't answer that, but you could call Kate and maybe ask her
Okay,
if they have a tentative time.
right.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it'll be this year.
Well, they do 10 episodes. Kate today at the meeting said that they do 10 episodes a year. So
Okay.
I'm not sure when they start, or if they've already, if we're at the end, are we at the beginning of, starting of their
I'm sure they'll give
visitations?
us a heads up.
Yeah, absolutely, and we'll promote it. It's really exciting for our community. It really, our community is built on resiliency, and this is really part of that we're still standing.
And if anybody has seen the program on CBC, Still Standing, it's just so entertaining, and it's real.
Yeah.
And, speaking with people that live there, the local traditions, customs, new things, and the
Goofy
comedy.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the comedy that goes along with it
Yeah.
that you see in between, it's just worthwhile watching.
Yeah, it's good.
It's really a great program.
Super exciting.
What day is it on, do you know?
I think this season has just ended. I know I watched Still Standing about 2 weeks ago, but what?
I can probably find it online.
I think you can watch
For
it
sure,
on-
you
Yeah.
could probably
You can
see
YouTube
them
it.
all.
You
Yeah.
can watch it on CBC Gem anytime or YouTube, like
Yeah.
you say.
Exactly,
So
but
before-
it's great.
Before I turn over to Eric here, Allison, I just want to confirm those dates again, because I kind of,
Yeah,
so May the 22nd is the financial budget meeting,
yes,
and then basically copies are available at City Hall.
yes.
And I'm assuming you can get them online as well?
Well, you will be able to as of tomorrow, but.
Okay, yeah, well,
Yes.
that's important.
Yeah,
Okay, and the June 3rd is the rezoning at Creekside Park, that's a public hearing meeting. Oh, what time does these meetings start?
6:30.
6:30?
No,
And
Kingsway.
that's both of them?
It's Kingsway Park.
Oh, I said
I think
Creekside.
is that the official name, Kingsway Park?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, this is the problem when you grow up here, you just call it that area,
Right.
that, you know,
Okay,
and
but
we
I wanna
really
make-
don't know, yeah.
So the rezoning for
Kingsway.
Kingsway Park is June the 3rd,
Yes, at
6:30.
6:30 at City Hall in Chambers.
and that'll be the same for the other one, right?
Yes, and you do not have to request to be a delegate, you can just come and speak.
Okay,
Yeah.
The financial plan one will start at 7.
that's at 7 PM, and that's May the 22nd.
Correct.
And copies, physical copy of the budget can be picked up at
Yes.
City Hall as well as online. I think that's all, thank you.
Okay, I'm just writing down those times. So the budget is at 7 and the Kingsway rezoning is at 6:30, presumably before the regularly scheduled council meeting?
That is correct,
Okay,
yeah.
perfect. Wanted to ask a little bit more about the resolution for Moosehide Day here. Part of me wanted to ask Councillor Litwin if he could repeat himself because I wasn't sure if I got all of it, but that
Can.
see, just be, I mean, yes, but it'll also be rude of me to make you read it through for 4 straight minutes.
He's so good at it, though.
He is.
I was ready with oxygen.
It's like, could be like some kind of revenge for grade 9 English for making me read so much, but I had the radio voice, so I guess it worked. Wanted to ask though about Moosehide Day, if there was any particular events happening in the greater community as part of this. I know there's been events organized by Hatton on Many Faces before. I don't know if they're doing that again or if there's anything happening at any of the other schools or in Creighton. Is anybody aware of anything happening?
Are you?
Well, I could say in Creighton, yesterday was Red Dress Day, so we did have an event for the school and the members of the school community in Creighton, but I'm not sure what the plan.
I'm
I'm
not
quite removed now from Flin Flon and the Flin Flon school divisions,
Mm,
other than living here.
fair enough.
I think probably Shelley and her team at the Friendship Center,
Yeah.
or the MMF office.
Yeah.
There's usually a walk.
There is usually a walk, but I haven't heard
Was
if
that
that's going to
Capital
happen.
last year that did that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So-
right.
I mean, I also didn't hear of anything happening for Red Dress Day until about 30 minutes after it had finished yesterday, so there's that.
It wasn't promoted very well.
I mean, I'm not gonna throw anybody under the bus about it, it happens. About the Kingsway rezoning, any new comment or information or anything like that that's come in since the last meeting?
No.
Not that I've heard.
Okay. Alright, and that is June 3rd, and again, that hasn't shown up at this meeting, so again, it's just waiting for the public hearing if it was going to advance. Does that require municipal board approval too?
It's under the Planning Act, so not municipal legislation, but Planning Act legislation. And so there is some requirement for approval there as well. And so, similar to what we just recently did with the special service levy, we will have the objection documents, people to be able to fill out if they object, and we will need to file those with the planning department.
Okay. To get back on the subject of still standing, because I know there's been excitement about this and it's been talked about a bit. And we've talked a lot about the practicalities of it, like when they're going to be here, what they're going to shoot, kind of for people who aren't familiar with the show, what it's going to look like. From a council perspective or from like a local leadership perspective, looking at it right now, what would you say that this program coming to Flin Flon means for the greater community? What sorts of impacts do you think it may have or that you're hoping it will have?
Well, it's putting us on the national stage. And the more we can get our name out to Canada and the world, the better, you know, for economic development, for tourism, for whatever. It's just promoting Flin Flon, and I don't think, if we get my personal opinion, I don't think there's any downside. You know, it's all about Flin Flon, and as I say, it's going to be on national TV on a pretty popular show.
So the idea too about it is in the name, Still Standing. So he only visits community that have lost something from their community. So obviously it's about the Hud Bay closure and the idea that we're still here as a community and being resilient. And I really believe that. I know, as being somebody that grew up here, and I'm speaking to the choir here, that has always been something looming over everybody's head consistently. When Hud Bay closes, when Hud Bay closes. It's a scary thought for a community. What's going to happen? Are we going to be able to maintain services? Is everybody going to move away? So I think this is a testament to what our community is and what it means to everybody, and that we are still standing. Obviously things have changed and we've had to change things, and it's been a really rough 2 years transition, and I feel like this is just part of the upscale that we're going with our paving, with our sidewalks, with our equipment that we've purchased, maintaining our budget, no increase. I'll just slide that in there because you can pick it up publicly tomorrow, so there'll be no mill rate increase for next year. It really shows where we're at and that we are resilient and that we're all coming together as a community. And really, I think people from Flin Flon are extremely prideful, and I'm really happy to show that to Canada.
And absolutely what Deputy Mayor said, and the bottom line to it is, after all that, we're still standing.
Yeah.
We're
And
still
Brian.
standing and we're still planning.
We're still
And we
planning.
are making a difference.
Yeah.
Things are changing, things are improving, and some things are being done differently. And that's where we all come in as you say, local leadership. But without all the people that live here that also take pride in this community for good reason, whether you've lived here for 5 years, 10 years, or your whole life, it all makes a difference. And so for anybody out there who is determined to be a naysayer, to be doom and gloom, I say bah humbug to that.
Well, and I think it's the reason most of us, if not all of us, speaking for myself, ran.
Absolutely.
Because it was gloom and doom, and like, oh, Hud Bay's gone, it's all over, it's all over.
Yeah.
Well, as I've said a million times, it could, when I heard this, it could be over. But we can sit back and do nothing about it, or we could try to do something about it. And I believe, as a community, we are doing something about it, and it's working. You know, it's gonna take some time to get perfect,
Yeah.
but, you know, it's not easy, but, and we've had to make some difficult decisions and difficult choices, but we have, and it's working.
Yeah, it is.
I really believe that Flin Flon is not Flin Flon, it's the people that make
Yeah.
Flin Flon what it is. There's nothing that happens in this community without volunteers, without nonprofits, without people stepping up, whether it is cleanup, whether it is arts, whether it is the SPCA, whether it is the food bank, whether it is the Bombers, you know, whether it's Norva or Johnny's. These are all things that are ran by the community, not by, you know, for-profit organizations. And they're still here, and that is what our community is. And I strongly believe in that, and I am part of some of those organizations, and I'm proud to say that I am.
And
Yeah.
it's not part of the city,
No, that
it's-
people
it's-
do those
volunteers.
because they believe in this community and they want it. Today at Chambers, it was interesting because we just spouted off about 10 things that we were doing this summer, and we've said it at this table many times, but to say it again, it's because we lose sight too. When, you know, it's easy to get disheartened, we lose sight of, yeah, maybe we are making a little headway, maybe we are doing some good things. We lose sight. So when we go to places and we get to talk about positive things like Still Standing, or a new accessible bus, and $1 million in sidewalks this summer, and, you know, 800,000 to 900,000 in paving this summer, you know, 3rd Avenue renewal, Zipple Hill, which we can't, no one likes to drive anymore, is getting paved. We went and did a tour of the pool. Walking into those places and hearing those things and seeing, we believe that we're gonna still be standing, whether we're here or not, but we're glad to be part of that right now. I sound like a politician right there, sorry.
Well, it's almost like you're an elected official or something, right?
But I
So-
believe those things, and I know everybody.
She's very involved with the Bombers, as you all know, and I'm involved with the city, and we just love it. And, people would ask me when I said, oh, we're moving to Flin Flon, they go, Flin Flon, why? And my answer to them was, why not? Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, it cost of living, the beauty, the people, most importantly, the people, we love it here. And, we don't look back at all. I miss a couple of restaurants and I miss a couple of friends back in Calgary. But besides that, we couldn't be happier than to be at Flin Flon. So thank the Bombers that you're stuck with me, but it's a lot more than, that's what got me here, but us here, but it was the people that kept us here.
Fair enough, fair enough. To kind of shift gears from that, I wanted to check in on a couple of other things as well. I wanted to check in on the Whitney Forum. It's my understanding that it's closed at the moment, and it usually is for a little bit after the hockey season's over to take the ice out, but it's been a couple of weeks now, and I don't know when it's supposed to be reopened or what's going on in there, so what are we looking at for that?
Definitely call Kate tomorrow to get that timeline. Her and Daniel are in charge of what's going on at the Whitney Forum right now. And it's same as every year, right? Repainting,
Maintenance.
cleaning, just maintenance of the building.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but
I'll tell you, that big building came out at the end of last year to this year, looking like a rose. The work that was done in there, you saw the painting and it just was crisp inside there. So I imagine they're working on doing the same sort of thing for next season.
Okay.
The sound upgrade and the
Yeah.
lighting.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the sound upgrade.
And you can actually hear people over the PA now, which is.
Hardy and I can't.
Depends on
Well,
where you're sitting.
I mean, yeah, you guys aren't exactly in a good spot for it, but like,
It's worse now than it was before.
Yeah, but the sound is better overall, but we need a direct line to Connor Brady.
Yeah. Oh, well.
yeah, is what it is. And also, obviously, the community choir's production of Annie is coming up this week and through this weekend, and they've been working on that for months. Anybody here on council have anything they'd like to say about that production? You look forward to it, you wanna see it, like what are we looking at for views on that and what the choir's kind of been cooking the last little bit?
You're heavily involved with the Arts Council. I'm excited, but Lynn.
Let's lead into that with a little bit of a pre-story. So the reason I'm here is because in early 2017, I read an article in the Saskatoon Star Phoenix. Crystal Colt was talking about how Flin Flon could be a globally recognized arts and culture community. And because I love arts and culture, that's my thing. I came here and I loved it and I stayed. But
Same
having-
story, different team.
Exactly. But the interesting thing is, I would go to TCU Place and watch the professional performances there, the live performances. Love them. That was one of my things in Saskatoon. And also Montreal, and a few different places. Saw Les Mis in Montreal, it was fabulous. Came here and watched Mamma Mia. I have never seen as strong a performance and as amazing a show anywhere that I went, including Les Mis in Montreal. And so that is amazing, and I expect to see that same thing again at the end of the week when we're at Annie. And lucky for me, because I'm on the Arts Council board, I get to volunteer, so I get to be there every night, which is great. So
It sure sounds like it's gonna be something.
yeah, it will be.
And, I'm not known as an arts guy, but
You change that.
I have changed it. When we first came here, we were at Johnny's every event. We haven't been lately. We gotta get back for the musicianship in this town is incredible. The visual arts is incredible. The performing arts is incredible. And I just said this to somebody at work today. I said this, and I said it on an interview I was on Facebook. This town fights above its weight in everything it does, and especially, I think, the arts. We know what the hockey team means to the country, but with the arts, and we just have to get that word out more. So I have a friend who was an actor in in musicals on Broadway, and I drove by Johnny's one day. They're having a Broadway show or something, and there was a lineup of people to buy tickets. I took a picture. I said, this is what Flin Flon is doing for their Broadway show. They're lining up for tickets. So it's incredible what this town can do and does.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
You can imagine the music that we had when I grew up here and was going to school dances 4 times a year, from grade 7 to grade 12. We have the same people now. They're still here. They're Flin Flonners too, as we all are at this table anyway. And it's pretty incredible.
It is.
When it comes to the productions of the community choir and how far that's come over the last 27 years. I was a stage manager for one production in between law school years. That was 20 years ago. And it is a lot of work, and it's even more now. And it's just risen and risen and risen as far as what's able to be done. If you can vision it, you can do it. And that's what Flin Flon is.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
And we also have a pretty strong person in Crystal Goldman leading the way.
I always say, if we could find a way to bottle up what keeps her going every day, we'd never have to worry about money again.
Yeah.
It cut my coffee budget down significantly, but yeah. And it isn't that hard to be both an arts guy and a hockey guy.
No, it's
No.
not.
I try to do both. The only time it's difficult is when there's a show and a hockey game at the same time.
Yeah.
and I gotta
Oh, then
run
you're
between
torn.
two places. Well, no, I gotta make them both, right? So I
Yeah.
can only show up for half of one, half the other. Somebody at Johnny's is going, hey, why are you leaving out the back? It's like, I got it, I'm sorry. Is what it is. I don't think I've got any other questions.
Great.
I'll refer, my question about the Form to Kate, and
Okay.
I'll probably be in your inbox tomorrow morning requesting a copy of the plan. But
I do have one more we can close
Yeah,
out.
go ahead, Rob.
When's this new bus gonna be on the road?
September, it's
In
supposed to,
September?
yeah, we already ordered it, got it on order, and that's how long it's gonna take.
When do you do the sidewalk work?
Hopefully starting this summer. So the tender will go up on Merck's, which is, I talked about it on the radio. So when we say the tenders go up or the RFQs go up on Merck's, it's a site that municipalities put what we're looking for. If it's over a certain amount, we have to actually post it there in
Right.
tenders, in all fairness for everybody.
Because these sidewalks are in conjunction with the bus, are they not?
Yes, it's
And
all
you-
1 grant.
So sidewalks, the shelters will start working on the summer and you get the new bus on the road.
Yeah,
in
the
fall.
pads, we have 7 locations that are already chosen. I don't know the exact locations. You will have to call the director to find that out. But pads have to be poured so the bus shelters can be put on. So that was a lot of work because we had to find out, do we own that land where we're putting the pads? Don't we? Is there enough space? And we all know that there's roads and areas where we can't even put sidewalks. So that whole plan is done, and if you just want to call the director, you'll be able to find out the whole plan.
And I would just like to say one last thing, so there is garbage bags and gloves
Oh,
available.
yes, thank you.
Even now, until June, until
Yeah.
middle of June, when we're done free
Free land-
dump days,
free landfill is from May 17th to,
June.
I gotta look.
June 1st.
June
First?
1st.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
until June 1st, the garbage bags and gloves are available, and you can pick them up anytime at City Hall, and then just call and let them know where you're leaving that garbage bag, and they'll come pick it up.
Awesome, thanks.
Okay.
Perfect.